Yep. We are live for the hot sauce number 184, presented live on Friday, January 20th. The hot sauce is the longest running news show in the EOS ecosystem and the only place where you can get all of the weekly EOS news and updates in video format in less than 25 minutes. My name is Stephane. I'm one of the co-founders of EOS Nation, and I'm excited to be your host today. We've got some great updates for you, including EOS EVM updates, very exciting stuff. Facing's creator tool gets a direct grant from the ENF. We'll be talking Greymass updates regarding new Unicove features and their January progress update. There's a new Yield Plus report out, and of course, it's showing some great stats for DeFi on EOS. And finally, we're gonna wrap it up with the Happy Lunar New Year promo that's currently going on. So let's jump right into the big topic of the week, EOS EVM updates. So I'm going to share this tweet here from Eve that he tweeted just a few days ago. I'm going to go through that. It contains a lot of great information. As always, if you're looking for the links for all of the news that we feature here, of course, you can find them in the show notes below. Leave us a like, subscribe, retweet, share, subscribe, all the good things. Thank you for your support. All right, so Big Beard Samurai on Twitter shares that after a year of building, the EOS EVM is around the corner, and we've got an exciting update to share. Not only is the EOS EVM by far the most performant EVM, but we have improved the token model. So this graphic here really showcases the power of the EOS network and how that power is going to be applied to the EOS EVM. So we can see here the benchmarking at 800 plus swaps per second, which is a much more accurate benchmark than transactions for many reasons, which actually, if you want to learn more about, recommend you tune into recommend you watch the Fireside from this week, where even Zach talked for about 30 minutes or even longer about all of the great things that the EOS EVM will bring. But for now, we're gonna continue here with this tweet, and you can see here, Solana at 273 is the current leader, but EOS is going to be blowing past that benchmark, clocking in at 814 swaps per second. So here Eve continues, the performance of EOS EVM is incredible. In addition to being by far the fastest EVM, it would also be as reliable and secure as Ethereum, with EOS as its consensus layer. EOS EVM combines performance with reliability, security, and unlocking new possibilities for dApps and developers. To ensure that the EOS EVM is continuously maintained and improved, the EOS Network Foundation will be managing EVM as a public good and running an RPC node to guarantee uptime. Developers interested in building on EOS EVM can apply for funding from the EOS Network Foundation too. So by combining the performance and reliability of EOS with the familiarity of tools like Hardhat, Truffle, OpenZeppelin, and Remix, Solidity developers get the best of both worlds. They can bring their code, libraries, SDKs, tooling, and deploy their apps immediately on EOS. Another big part of this update is the improved token model of EOS EVM. So rather than issuing a new token, the EOS EVM will now be powered directly by the EOS token itself, which is great news. And this new token that was proposed had a lot of feedback from the community, etc., over the last couple of months. And it's great to see the ENF taking that feedback into account and adjusting the model. Again, check out the Fireside. The links are below for a lot more information on why and the impacts of this. Don't have time to go into all of it today, but the big takeaway here is that the gas token for the EOS EVM is now going to be EOS itself, which is amazing. I'll share a bit more about what that means in just a minute, but let's finish this tweet here. So rather than issuing a new token, EVM will be powered by the EOS token. This means you'll be able to use your EOS with wallets like MetaMask and seamlessly move your tokens back and forth between the EOS mainnet and the EOS EVM. The latest EOS EVM will be deployed to the testnet today or yesterday actually, and the mainnet will be ready after about 2 months of battle testing. So EVM will add new utility to the EOS token and new functionality to the EOS network. Absolutely great news. And so let's dive into this a bit more. So just today, they published this blog post on the EOSnetwork.com blog site, and which goes into a lot of the details here about the new EOS EVM. So here, I'm just going to read a couple of sections from this article that I think are really important to highlight. So of course, the EOS EVM allows Ethereum-based projects to tap into the previously inaccessible audience and liquidity of EOS without needing to rewrite their code in C++. Since the Trust EVM scope has been now removed, EOS is now the gas on EVM, and there's no need to wait for the whole tokenomics to be further developed and launched. So that's great. Since the planned RPC node subsidy has been removed, which was linked to the Trust EVM, the ENF now we're going to be operating the RPC infrastructure as a public good to ensure that the network is stable at launch. Other entities will also be able to operate their own RPC nodes to earn revenue through a profit margin added on top of the EOS gas fee within the EOS EVM. All right, what does this mean? This means that RPC providers, RPC node providers, are going to be required for EVM users to connect to operate on the network. The EOS Network Foundation is going to be offering one of these RPC nodes themselves, and the price is not going to be so low. They're actually going to price it fairly expensive compared to potentially other players that are going to be offering RPC nodes. The reason this is that the ENF doesn't want to be the sole provider. They want to incentivize other providers on the network to run RPC nodes. And so by pricing their service a bit higher, it leaves a lot of room for competitors to come undercut them and build out a robust decentralized marketplace for these RPC nodes. So two things that for me are very important to understand with this is that RPC node operators will be charging a fee to the apps and customers in order to make profits on this RPC node. And this fee is going to be, profits for these RPC node operators. The ENF, the share of the fees that the ENF collects with these is likely going to be burned. So the fees are collected in EOS, and then this EOS is going to be burned. So that's great. Of course, everyone in the EOS ecosystem has been asking for token burns. How can we create a deflationary network? Well, if there's enough usage on this EOS EVM, it's possible that we'll get there through this token burn. The other way that EOS holders are going to benefit from the EOS EVM is that all of these transactions that are running on EOS EVM do actually also need to be, of course, they're running on the EOS mainnet as well. So that means that the EOS EVM will need to purchase some power up resources for these accounts, which means that people who stake to Rex should see an increased revenue from Rex due to the increased usage of the power up. So EOS token holders are going to benefit in two ways. First, there's going to be some EOS that is going to be burned, and second, Rex holders are going to be enjoying higher APR, assuming that there's actually usage on this EOS EVM, and because it's going to be the most performant EVM in the entire crypto space, I think it's fair. I think it's a fair assumption to say that there's going to be some usage. Another update here is that Silkworm is the EVM that is running this. There's been some updates recently that are leveraged by the EOS EVM. The EOS EVM is now live with this Silkworm update on the Jungle testnet. And so people can get in there right away and start testing their EOS EVM apps. So I'm going to leave it there for this topic. There's a lot more that was covered on the most recent Fireside with people that are more technically inclined than I am, and probably be able to provide some even more greater detail. But so for me, I'm super excited about this. I love that there's no new token anymore, and that EOS is going to be the gas used to power the EOS EVM. Definitely worth a couple sound effects for that. All right, so here we see the latest Fireside, which is we can see here it's actually almost an hour of discussion about EOS EVM. So really some great stuff in there for you guys to go check out if you want to learn more. All right, moving on to our next topic of the day, the Facings creator tool for Atomic NFT collection. So Facings here is proud to announce the launch of Creator, a free-to-use open source publishing launchpad for creators and developers to use, reference, and expand upon. So here you can learn more on this blog post, and also on not this week's Fireside, but the previous week's Fireside, where we had Rodrigo come on and talk about this this new tool they're building, which is actually funded through a direct grant framework from the ENF, which is great to see. So encourage you guys to tune in on that to learn more. But real quickly, what this tool allows, well, actually, let me read the description here, and I'll give a bit of commentary after that. So the Facings Creator tool is a tool for managing AtomicAsset NFTs collection based upon the open source collection manager project funded by ENF grants. The goal is to provide a streamlined and intuitive experience for creators to manage their NFT collections. The initial version provides core features needed to interact with AtomicAssets functionality on EOS and WAX. In the next major version, we aim to provide a plugin system and deeper functionality added via plugins, as well as additional UX enhancements. So basically, this is an open source tool that is being developed by the Facings team that will allow anyone in the Antelope ecosystem to basically build on additional features on top of this open source tool. So of course, Atomic Hub is the leading NFT platform on EOS and WAX. It's a great platform, tons of features, very smooth, works pretty much all the time, and it's a great product. However, it is closed source, so people can't add on, can't build on top of it, right? And it's totally reasonable for that product to be closed source. But now it's great that there's going to be kind of an open source alternative, so builders can get in there and contribute to the NFT experience on Antelope. So really cool stuff. Congratulations to Rodrigo and the Facings team from EOS Detroit. Very happy to see that you guys are getting funded to continue delivering on great NFT products. You know, gotta say, Facings has been one of the leading NFT creators in the WAX and EOS space, and it's great to see them getting recognized by the ENF and getting funded to continue to do great work. More sound effects for the guys at Facing. All right. Moving on to our next topic. Actually, before we get there, quick reminder: like this video, like our tweet, retweet us, join the contest, bblk.io/EOS Nation. You can earn some cool NFTs, some party crackers every week, and yeah. We appreciate it a lot for everyone who subscribes to us, shares this with their friends, etc. We love it, and thank you very much for tuning in. I see we've got a lot of chatter in the live chat right now. We've got Meloni Spirito, we've got Lisa in there, Yana, Catherine, Martin, Moro. Thanks for being with us, Marcus. Love all these emojis, love the fire. Let's keep it going. All right, so next up, we've got some very awesome updates actually from Greymass, the creators of the Anchor wallet, my favorite wallet on EOS, as well as the Unicove web wallet, which is very interesting, which is very powerful, and is something I think that is going to become much more well-known in 2023. So have you ever wished you could buy EOS and Wax tokens directly within Unicove? Well, wish no longer. The Greymass team teamed up with Banxa Official to make it happen. So that means that directly from Unicove, you can buy some EOS or some Wax tokens and then get in there, buy some NFTs, do some transactions, play around with DeFi, all of the great stuff you can do on EOS and Wax, now easily accessible. Actually, the Pomelo team's pretty excited about that as well. It's going to enable even easier onboarding for people who want to join the ecosystem and donate to Pomelo projects. They can buy their EOS directly from Unicove. There's some limits, of course, but you can still buy a couple $100 worth every day without KYC, and even more if you choose to KYC. So this is really cool. Again, Aaron, the man himself from Greymass, was on the fireside this week, sharing more news about that, and also some news about their January progress update. So here you can see there's a blog post about how to buy, why you can now buy tokens in Unicove and how to do that, all that good stuff. And yeah, so you can read that blog article there. And like I said, on the far side, you can learn more. They also published a podcast, which goes into even more detail than on the fireside. So there's definitely plenty of content out there for those of you who are interested in learning more about this. Also, Greymass published their progress update for January, which includes a lot of interesting upgrades. The one that I'm most excited about is the support for language localization. So finally, Anchor Wallet is going to be available in Chinese and Korean and and a couple of other languages. It's not yet available, but it's getting there and it's very close, which is great because we're actually promoting the Anchor Wallet right now to the Asian community through our Lunar New Year promo, which I'll be talking more about that later in the show. Some other upgrades for Android Anchor includes upgrades for React Native and app dependencies, reducing the size of the app, introducing audited libraries, some quality of life improvements as well. On the iOS side, of course, there's also support for language localization and quality of life improvements. For the desktop, there's a new version released, version 1.3.9. So if you've not upgraded your Anchor desktop wallet, you can do that right now. It now supports for Fuel on Jungle 4, allowing app developers to test their stuff more easily, and a fix for corrupted request keys, some greater ABI caching control for developers, and lowering connectivity requirements. Other stuff that you can find in this update includes WARF updates, which we talked a bit about last week, and also API updates for Wax, which is good because I know a lot of you out here are also fans of Wax NFTs. All right, moving on to our next topic, another topic that I'm super excited about. Honestly, there's a ton of super exciting things going on this week. The December 2022 Yield Plus report. So Yield Plus, of course, is one of the programs that encourages users to lock up their funds into a variety of DeFi protocols by awarding these protocols extra rewards that most of these protocols then transfer over to extra rewards for their users. So here we can see the December Yield Plus report. And I'm going to go quickly over here at the top. You can see here how much EOS TVL across eligible dApps. You can see that some of them are kind of flat, and some of them are kind of increasing a tiny bit, which is great to see. Doesn't look like any of these have reduced in TVL, which is awesome. There's now 14 dApps that are participating in the program and 11 qualifying for rewards. So in order to qualify for rewards, you need at least 200,000 EOS worth of liquidity locked up in your DeFi protocol. And the two tokens that qualify for this liquidity is EOS and USDT, some of the hardest tokens available on EOS. And then we've got some numbers about the treasury, stuff like that. But then we get to the really cool graphs that I like. So here we've got the trend in TVL divided by market cap in the EOS ecosystem. So that means compared to the market cap, how much is there, how many assets are locked up in EOS. And we can see that the trend in December is clearly going up and to the right. So we observe a 7.5 growth trend in the key TVL to market cap ratio, which is great to see. Again, showcasing the power of the Yield Plus program. And then my favorite graph in each of these Yield Plus reports, of course, the relative change in TVL between EOS and large cap L1s. So you know what? Plus 7.5% is great. But if the rest of the crypto space went plus 100%, it actually wouldn't be that great, right? Because really, EOS DeFi is competing with DeFi on other layer one platforms. So how has EOS performed compared to these other large cap L1s in the month of December? It's actually performed extremely well. So we can see here EOS in the dark blue, let's say, TVL change, plus 4% or something, while the other L1s, the average is minus 9%. So when you combine these two together, you get the relative change, which for EOS, which sits at around 12, 13%, which is really great, continuing to show that EOS DeFi is very active and actually outperforming most of other layer one DeFi protocols. So that's awesome to see. All right, and finally, our last topic of the day, mark the year of the rabbit with the EOS Lunar New Year giveaway. So in collaboration with ENF, us here at the .gems teams have been working on some fun promotions. It leverages Bounty Block, an EOS native social contest app that allows you guys with an EOS account to log into the Bounty Block. And for this contest this month, we're running some surveys. So the first survey ended actually this morning, and we sent out the prizes. So if you filled out the first survey, you should have received your mystery lunar box, which you can open and find a variety of fun NFT prizes in there. And if you missed last week's survey, don't worry, there's a second survey for this promo that went live this morning as well. And this one is going to run for 2 weeks. We got plenty of time to get in there. If you're looking for the links, they are, of course, included in this blog post. They're included in the show notes, but really they're also very easily accessible by going to bblk.io/ENF for our English speakers. And then you can also go /ENFCN and ENFKR for Chinese and Korean speakers. So we've got great prizes in there. There's 1,500 EOS worth of airdrops, 1,000 EOS in some rad envelope airdrops for you guys, and 500 through the Pomelo Checks NFTs, which are airdrops that can only be, that you can give to a Pomelo grant that qualified in season 4. So it's fun stuff. And the surveys here that we're encouraging you guys to fill out is going to give the ENF some good data and visibility into the knowledge for everyone of various things, and also the opinions of a lot of community members. The first survey last week was more focused for the inside EOS community, while the survey this week, we're actually going to be promoting it fairly heavily in China through a lot of key opinion leaders out there. And then we're going to be trying to get a lot of people from outside the EOS community to fill out the survey, make their first EOS account. Shout out to EOS support for giving us some great support with that process. And then kind of getting a better visibility into what people from outside the EOS community, what have they heard about the new EOS? Do they still think it's the old EOS? Do they know about the ENF? Do they know about Antelope? All these kinds of questions. So we're looking to gather some good information there, and at the same time, reward people who participate with some fun prizes. So here you can see some of the new NFTs that we've minted for this contest. You've got, of course, the mystery box, which will then contain one of these NFTs in there. We've got a classic wreath, which is a classic Lunar New Year Korean symbol. We've got the Dulian, which is a classic New Year symbol in China. We've got the red envelopes. Like I said, these are our airdrops. There's 10 EOS that can be claimed by you guys if you find a red envelope in your mystery box. all you got to do is send this NFT to redeem.gems to get your EOS. Of course, the mystery box, in order to unpack it, you send it to unpack.gems. And then there's a nice little year of the rabbit coin here as well. We may be giving some functionalities to these coins later on in the year, so definitely hold on to them if you get them. And then, of course, our latest EOS hotshot in the series of the EOS hotshots. This is Bebe Bunny. Bebe is also known as Beatrice, one of a new Asian community manager for the ENF. So we gave a little hat tip, and we dressed her up in a bunny costume in honor of the year of the rabbit, of course. And then you can also find some Pomelo checks in there. So lots of great prizes to be found. Join the contest, bblk.io/ENF. You've got a couple of weeks to do it, but might as well do it right now. Why not? So that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you for tuning in for episode 184 of the Hot Sauce. My God, that's a lot of hot sauce. Of course, appreciate you guys joining live. Appreciate you guys watching on the replays. And yeah, if you want to get more involved in the EOS community, you know, I host the Fireside every Wednesday, and we invite community members to join the Fireside on Discord and jump in there with us, share your comments, share your questions. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. All right. So that's it for me. Hope everyone has a good weekend, and well, I'll